I love the thought of like, oh, Jamal Adams, is he the missing piece for the Dallas Cowboys? Is Jamal Adams going to go back to Dallas and rally the troops so they show up like they did the last game every single game? Is Jeff Heath, incredible kicker, Jeff Heath, now going to be on the bench and only be a special teamer as Jamal Adams, one of the best safeties in the game, goes there? Jerry Jones offers a first and a fourth. The Jets say, nah. Jamal Adams not happy that they were even taking offers because he was told to his face that that wasn't going to happen. And if I'm Jamal Adams, I understand that the general manager told me that he wasn't shopping me. I'm showing up every single day trying to work my ass off. I've become a good friend of Le'Veon Bell, who they were also shopping. And you tell me right to my face you're not going to trade me. The GM says that to him. So then, whenever you hear that you're potentially being shopped, you can see how Jamal Adams would be like, man, this guy just lied right to my face. This man that I am doing business with, ultimately you're doing business with the GM, just lied right to my face publicly. But if I'm the GM for the Jets, I would tell Jamal Adams, hey, man, we were not shopping you. I got a phone call from Dallas. Hey, how's it going? This is Jerry Jones. Well, hello, Mr. Jones. What if I gave you a first and a fourth for Jamal Adams? Oh, I just told him yesterday we weren't going to shop him, Mr. Jones. Well, you just think on that and let me know. First round can go a long way, especially with your tanking team. I'll call you back, Jerry. Like, what is that GM supposed to do?
It has to take the call.
Literally, what is that GM supposed to do? So I can understand why Jamal, whenever people are leaking that he's getting shopped, can be upset because you just had a man-to-man conversation with a guy, shook his hand, he said, I'm not shopping you. But if Jerry calls and says, hey, I got a first round and fourth rounder, and that GM says, no, we're not taking it for him, like, you have to come back around then on the GM who is like, no, this guy is worth more to our team than that. Even though we stink this year, that means a lot. And I would assume Jamal Adams has come around because he seems like a pretty understanding individual and he's a great football player. He's a captain of the team. But a first rounder and a fourth rounder or whatever it was is a heck of an offer to hear from Jerry Jones on trade deadline day to be like, oh, we stink. Unload some cap space. Oh, I just told him yesterday I wouldn't trade him. I'll call you back, Jerry. I'll think on it. Just think on it. Remember, you guys are not good right now. Remember, we could be good with Jamal. You could be good with the picks. Something to think about. You know, Jerry starts working his business angle, and that GM's like, no. That's the type of stuff that you have to do, though, whenever you're a GM of a real team and not a fantasy football team. You have to deal with personal relationships while dealing with the business side of things. You have to deal with knowing that you told a person right to their face you wouldn't shop them, and then you get an incredible offer for them, and will you stick with it or will you won't? That's a real tell. By the way, the Jets have done a lot of bad. Firing their GM after he spent all of their salary cap and did their entire draft setting the team up for this year. Bringing in Adam Gase, who has had little success outside of the year that Peyton Manning was running the entire show. A lot of bad decisions. I mean, historically bad decisions for the New York Jets. You can listen to Get Up. You can listen to KFC. You can listen to Gary V. You can listen to Fireman Ed or whatever his name is. You can listen to all of them tell you about how notoriously bad the Jets are. But in this particular situation, I think he actually did the right thing. He's building up trust in that locker room with the team, which has probably never been there before. Lev Bell even came out and said, hey, this is going to take a little bit, whenever Lev Bell's name was potentially being shopped to other teams, which, by the way, that GM's probably getting calls because I think what happens is, especially now that we're in a trade-happy league, you see teams that stink. You're like, oh, there's a couple good guys in there. Let me get them off your hands. Hey, you know, we have a chance this year. You don't have a chance this year. Why don't you stock up for next year, make this league better? We'll take those guys off your hand. Lev Bell, you weren't even the GM that paid him. Let me get him. I'll take him. Houston Texans and Chiefs were supposedly looking at Le'Veon Bell. Nightmare for the Indianapolis Colts if that's the case. That dude is unbelievable. And I think after talking to Chris Johnson, he's just getting back into it after missing a year of football. And Le'Veon Bell is going to go back to the Le'Veon Bell he is. Le'Veon, though, very professional afterwards. He's like, listen, patience. We're going to build this thing. Even though I was potentially getting shopped today and I'm still here, I want to let you know we're going to build this thing. But I think that GM and GMs of bad teams have to make awfully difficult decisions on trade deadline days because they're getting calls for the only players that are worth a single damn on their team. People are like, let us save that player and help you out for the future. And the GM didn't give. The Jets GM didn't give. You got to respect that.